Scorpio, March energies are upon us. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for the month of March for Scorpios. And this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, or if there's anyone that you have where you have a Scorpio in your life that you love. What a great way to stay up on what's going on in their world. Today we are going to be pulling an overarching theme from the Sacred Creators Oracle from Chris Ann. And the card deck that spoke to me today for you guys is the Crystal Visions Tarot. Jennifer Jacozo, something like that. I really should know this woman's name by now, considering this is like my favorite deck ever. But there you have it. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, and apparently Mr. Neo has decided that he wants to show you his butt. Sorry, cat, like what can I say? All right, as I am shuffling up the cards for you here to get a theme for this month, I just want to share some wonderful news that YouTube, after 11 years, almost 12 years of trying, has finally deemed me worthy enough to be able to offer memberships to my subscribers. So click the join button, find out how you can become a fabulous phoenix with me. 3 memberships. All right, befriend the word polarize. Okay, Scorpios. So sometimes just by your very nature, you can, tend to polarize situations or circumstances or people in your life just by the way that you're presenting it. That's not a bad thing. I want to say in many ways that can be a bit of a superpower for you in the long run. But this month, I'm feeling like there needs to be a little more intentionality around this. And when it says befriend the word polarize, I feel like we are actually living in a time right now where there is a lot of polarization, and it's continuing divisiveness that is actually the opposite to what we really need at this time. So you befriending the word polarize rather than, kind of going all in both barrels polarization, I feel is going to be a bit of a lesson to the people around you, that you can befriend it. You can find a way to make this work for you. You can find a way to see how this is showing up in your life and in your world as a healer, as a healing tool, as a barometer for where things are at in your life and in your world. This is going to be a month where you're going to want to really connect to your visions. What is it that you are manifesting for yourself? What is it that you're really trying to learn about yourself this month in particular? I feel like that's going to be the driving force. Okay, so this is you in the present moment. Where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? All right, let's see what we got. 5 of Cups. So, yeah, I feel like right now this is a month where you've been evaluating a lot of the loss in your life. Maybe there has been an actual physical loss that you're grieving, that's been recent. Maybe this is things coming up from the past that are, kind of revisiting you in your dreams, maybe stirring up some of your emotions. I feel very much like this is coming up because you need to deal with this once and for all. It's like you're not really going to be able to move forward unencumbered unless you actually just, and I feel like when I look at this card here, she's looking down at the 3 goblets, right? She's looking down at them, the chalices, and she's focused on them. And I feel like if you're going to focus on them, don't focus on them from afar. Get down into the water, have a conversation with each of them, really face what it is that you've lost, and then put them back in the water and let them go. Release them to the universe, because only when you are able to, I really say, want to face your fears in that way, can you then have the ability to look up at what is waiting for you. it's a focus thing. And I feel like, so is this shifting, rising, or dissolving? It needs to dissolve in order for you to rise. But you're doing things in a kind of an old pattern way. You're looking at it from afar. You're looking at it from the observer's perspective, which is not always a bad thing. But right now, it's keeping you too distant from it. It's like, I want to help the situation, but I'm looking at it through the glass. So I can't put my hand through the glass in order to be able to reach out and help. I have to actually not have a barrier between me and the thing. And right now, the barrier is the water, the emotions. There's something about what you are processing that you're afraid to go the full cycle with, to go all the layers or all the levels with. And for some of you, this might be relationship stuff. You know, if I really do that deep dive, I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. And even though you're a Scorpio, you love the emotion and the deep dive stuff, you're still human. You still have certain things that you're like, yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that. You know, let's not and say we did. But I feel like this is the thing that needs to occur. It's like divide and conquer. Befriend the word polarize so that you can make it work for you. What's your catalyst? Ooh, this deck is really speaking to you. I barely even have to shuffle and the cards are like flying out. What's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Okay, so there's definitely a relationship that is taking up a lot of space in your head, maybe even in your life. Maybe this is a romantic partnership. Because it's a Knight, I tend to lean into that a little bit, that it might be a romantic partnership, but not all of us are involved in partnerships. So this would be somebody that you spend quite a bit of your time with in a day. And I feel like their passion, their exuberance, their fire, their enthusiasm, quite frankly, feels like it's driving you nuts. And there's a part of you that is saying, like, go slow, or I don't want to have to move that fast, or I don't want to go, like, he's faced almost like backwards, right? I don't want to have to go back in order to go forward. Knight of Wands is there as a reflection, right? To be able to say, hey, I can take you there. I can be the catalyst. I can take you there in a number of different ways, but I'm not taking you back so that you get stuck in the back. I'm taking you back so that you can gather what it is that you need to be able to move forward with success. So the Knight of Wands is going to appear as a challenge. It's going to appear as opposition, when really it's your ally. It's your friend. It's the necessary mirror to help you to be able to understand how you are moving forward. So again, that polarize, you're going to be like, oh my God, you're driving me nuts. As soon as you feel that about someone, you want to remember this reading and go, ding, ding, ding. I need to pay attention to this because there's something that this person is reflecting to me that I need, or this person is bringing me back into a past situation because there's something in that past situation I need. It doesn't mean you have to like totally do the deep dive, but you need to face what it is that you're focused on, because otherwise you're not going to be able to let it go. It's like, I just need to know. If I once know, I can bring some closure to it and I can move forward. But until I know, this is what I'm going to be focused on, constantly going to be brought back to this. There's a pattern here that I feel by the end of March, you're going to either be very clear on what that pattern is, or you're going to recognize the pattern and you're going to say, now I know how to break it. Definitely a big pattern coming here for you, Scorpio. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is going to help you to determine it, or is going to be the catalyst to help you to break it. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Scorpio, this is what you want. You want someone to make it a little bit easier. You want someone to give you a bit of grace, to give you a bit of leeway. You want to be able to throw these swords down and have someone else pick them up for you on your behalf. And I feel like the challenge for you here is in needing to ask for that, in needing to know that it's okay for you to ask for that, and also to know who you need to ask. Because for whatever reason, and this is a general reading, so take what works for you and leave the rest behind. But for some of you, I'm feeling that there's a certain level of vulnerability. You're very sensitive right now. And if you go and you ask someone that you don't know whether or not they're going to say yes, that is not setting yourself up for success, nor is it setting them up for success either. You want to go where you know that you're going to get the things that you need. And if you don't know where that is or who that is, you want to connect with your angels and guides right away. You want to connect with your intuition. Talk to the universe. Say, bring me the person, and bring me the person that's going to give me the thing that I need, and make it so obvious that even I can't, talk myself in or out of it. That even I know that this is what is supposed to happen, or this is the person that I'm supposed to connect with. It's interesting that we got a 5 and now we have a 6. So you're definitely, I want to say, in the middle of that, kind of the middle of a cycle, right? And again, I feel that you are connecting to a familiar cycle. Not necessarily that the cycle is healthy or good for you, but you're in a familiar cycle. But even in that familiar cycle, you're starting to feel uncomfortable because you're recognizing this doesn't feel like I'm moving on to calmer shores. This feels like, once again, I'm having to, hold the whole thing. Like I'm the one left holding the bag, or I'm the one that has to do all of this stuff on my own. And I'm tired. I'm tired of having to do everything on my own. I'm, grieving something. I'm sad about losing something, or I'm preoccupied right now with having to do the deep dive work in order to be able to move forward where I need to go. And I just need someone to pick up the slack. Pay attention to who you're asking. Go to places, people, places, and things where you know they're going to be able to give you what you need. It's really, really important. For those of you who I want to say are, bogged down by work and things, there is no shame in calling up a personal assistant or somebody that you can hire, by the hour to just kind of handle some things for you. Maybe it's house cleaning. Maybe it's coming in and like doing the dishes or organizing your closet, or, one of the 75 different things that you've had on your list to get done that niggles at the back of your mind, but you never are able to just kind of get it done because you've got all of these other things. This is a very emotional time for you right now. So, do what you need to do to get the help that you need. Past phase. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Interesting. We just had a 6 of Swords. Now we've got a 6 of Wands. So what I'm hearing is like false victory. Sometimes I like to say, and this isn't the card that I usually associate this with, but I like to say, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I feel like what this is kind of talking about is there's something that you chose to be right about, over happy about, and you got the victory, but it didn't really last, or it wasn't all that you thought it was going to be. It wasn't all that you needed it to be. And I feel like that might be connected to some of what you're having to look at here. That, yeah, I had the wine. I fought for the wine, I got the wine. But was it as sweet as I thought it was going to be? Was it worth the fight? Was it worth all of the effort? I keep feeling like this is a false victory, or a victory that comes up short or comes up shy. Well, with this dying away, I feel like this is you being able to clear the decks, to be able to say, I'm bringing back more harmony, balance, and alignment into my life. I'm recognizing that I made this choice, and that maybe given the choice next time, I might do it differently, because I recognized that maybe it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It's not what it was worth. But having that lesson, having that wisdom and knowledge is worth its weight in gold. So don't see it as a false victory. You want to shift your perspective and understand that the victory showed up in a different way. The lesson showed up in a different way. It's not that the thing was a failure. It's that the win comes from a different perspective. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, what is your highest phoenix potential? What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. 9 of Cups. So, wow. Wishes fulfilled. let's take a look at the Five of Cups. She's by herself. She's crying in the water. She's overly focused or hyper focused on things that she can't change, but she's got to take a look at them. She's got to deal with them and let them go so that she's got the ability to open herself to the new opportunities. Well, now she did open herself to the new opportunities, and not only, does she have the 2 cups, she's got 9 cups. She's got so many cups that she's not worried at all. At any one given time, she knows that she's got the things that she needs. And instead, what she's doing is she's blowing out more potential. It's the daisy or the dandelion, blowing out the dandelion with all of the little seedlings that are going everywhere. Planting of seeds, because the wishes are fulfilled. And when you have your wishes fulfilled, you have so much gratitude in your heart and joy in your heart. So then you can create more. Thank you, universe. Bring me more. So this highest potential, it's alignment, it's no longer a false victory. You did get the help that you needed, and now you're ready to end that particular chapter of your life and ending that cycle so that as you move forward, you're going to be clearer on the things you need, the people that you choose to connect with, the direction that you're going, what a true victory looks like for you. But you have to go through this first. You have to kind of get this. And like I said, this is the potential. You have to imagine this. You have to know that this is possible. You have to see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, and sense it before it happens in order for it to happen. So we're talking about manifestation here. We're talking about co-creative energy. What is emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Ooh, you got the Fool card. Loving this. Okay, so there is sort of a reinvention that is taking place here for you on one level. Like I said, you're letting something go so that you can open up into something else. We have that 5 and that 6 energy, so you're kind of in the middle of a particular pattern and cycle. 9 is endings, resolutions, conclusions. This is connected to that Phoenix potential. And now this is what emerges as a result of you falling in line with everything that's coming up, is a new journey, a new expose. Look at all of these beautiful butterflies. These butterflies are all coming down to help her. They're going to help to lift her. So she's going to take the leap of faith, and they're going to grab onto all of her tresses, all of her clothes, her hair. They're going to buoy her up. They're going to lift her up, and they're going to take her. She's taken the leap. She's got the inertia. She's got the momentum. And they're going to support the momentum and bring her to that next space and that next phase. So I feel like what's going to be kind of coming up for you guys here in March is a particular person showing up kind of at your proverbial door with an unexpected opportunity. And it's the kind of opportunity that only comes around once in a blue moon. It's very unexpected and it's a very unusual opportunity. But I want to say it is one that is absolutely going to be connected to the heart path, going to be connected to you having the opportunity to reach the full victory rather than a false victory. And you're not going to have to do it alone. Even though each one of these figures, with the exception, of course, the Knight of Wands and the Six of Wands having their familiars, right, with them, they're all standing on their own. Well, now you've got the butterflies helping you. So butterfly, of course, is transformation. It's also, spirit energy helping you, air energy lifting you up. But again, you have to say yes to this. You have to choose this. You have to have your eyes open to choose it. You have to have already done this work in order to be able to be free and unencumbered to lean into this. But it's coming up, and it's going to be presented to you in the form of a very unique opportunity through a person. And this opportunity is one that, you might need a minute to really think about it, to maybe do a little bit of research on it. But ultimately, if you say yes, it's going to open a whole new world for you. And that feels exciting. That feels like, what it's going to take to put more fire under you to keep you moving forward, to understand the path and direction that you're choosing. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? You have all the things that you need. You're feeling strong in your resources. You're feeling strong in your structure, your stability. You're feeling like you've got all of your needs met. The challenge here, you might find the Libra reading interesting too, because I got some of this stuff for Libra as well. You're finding some of the day to day just boring. You're finding the pattern that you notice that you're kind of living in, or that the world has you living in, is boring. And so a part of you tries to be a little more polarizing, to infuse a little excitement, a little energy. It's no fun if you have all the things that you want and there's nothing to strive for. This is kind of the energy of what I'm picking up on for you. But remember, we're befriending the word polarize. We're not weaponizing polarize. We're befriending it. So befriend the word polarize. And from that King of Pentacles perspective, as a leader in your own life, maybe a leader at work, a leader in your relationship, however this is, wherever you feel that you are kind of on top of your game, you want to play the devil's advocate for yourself. Be the devil's advocate for yourself. Bring in some of that polarize. How would this change things up? How could I switch things up for myself? A king is always going to, a healthy king, let me put it that way. A healthy king is always going to test his own boundaries, test his own waters. A king worth his salt is going to have his knights run drills to make sure that they're testing any weak spots in the kingdom itself, that where people can penetrate the barriers and things of that nature. Always testing, always trying to improve, not sitting back on his laurels and waiting. And so I feel like this is what March is inviting you to do, is to kind of test the waters, test what your beliefs have been, test what has been really giving you a lot of joy, and test what is no longer giving you joy. Is it not giving you joy because you're having a bad day? Or is it not giving you joy because you've been sick of doing this for months and you're ready for a change? Ask those questions, because I feel like the King of Pentacles is going to bring that information to you. And it's going to be it's going to be a stark clarity for you. That's the beauty of Pentacle energy, because it's in the now, it's in the present, it's in the tangible and the physical. You can't mistake it. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation? And is it a positive or a negative transformational influence? Interesting. 10 of Pentacles. So you are ready, just like the Fool, you are ready for something new. You already have your legacy established. I feel like, Scorpio, you guys kind of already, what your path is. You know what you're doing. You're feeling pretty comfortable about it. You know where you stand with your peeps. That isn't really in question. It's not that you're having to create your legacy or build your legacy. I feel like it's the legacy that you've created that is going to support this shift and this change for you. And that shift and that change is really important, because this is the evolution of you. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want to be polarized forever, right? Befriend the word polarized so that you can move through it, so you can make it work for you. 10s are new beginnings based on an already established foundation. So, at heart, you're really looking for change. You're just not maybe seeing it so clearly, or because you don't know exactly what it looks like yet, you're just kind of, hanging back until you get more information. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of both. You can observe, but I feel like you're going to kind of learn as you go. And, your circles of support are already there. It's what's been established that's going to support you. Hopes and fears about changing. Who are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Interesting. You want to be the change that you wish to see in the world, but you also want others to recognize you for that. And I feel like a lot of you Scorpios are on that precipice of recognizing, I might need to turn it up a notch or two in order to get that level of recognition. This might be a journey of graduation, up leveling, in order to get to a space and a place where I'm being seen and felt and heard in the ways that I need to be to get to where it is that I'm going. I feel like this is less a fear and more a realization without a clear path of how to do it. But this month in March, I feel the opportunity will present itself where it's going to show you the direction you need to take, where you'll find this information out. The thing itself, the opportunity itself, is not going to bring you the clarity. The opportunity is going to put you on the path to discovering the clarity. The clarity will be on the path itself. Also, I have to point out it's a 10. So that's 3 in a row, right? You've got the 0, the pure potential, and the Fool. You got the 10 of Pentacles, new beginnings based on an already established foundation. And now you've got the Wheel in that sort of that same energy. So definitely this is a month where your angels and guides are really going to be encouraging you to move forward, do new things. The newer, the better. The less you know about it, the better. Own that. Lean into that. All right, this is your outcome. If you stay on course for March, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? I love it. Peace in your heart. True alchemy. Taking what has been occurring for you the last 3 to 4 months and alchemizing it into something that's going to be even more powerful and potent as you move forward. Here, it's less about focusing on your vision and more about focusing on how you want to feel in this moment right now. Here, she had to face the cups so that she could let them go with intention to open herself to the new. Here, she's holding those 2 cups and she's making them work for her. And one has fire and one has spirit. So I feel like who you're going to be on the other side of this, you've got some patience in there. You're recognizing that you're kind of biding your time. Maybe you've said yes to this opportunity and now you're blending your wisdom. You're making the mixture. You're making the concoction. And sometimes when we do that, spell work or we make up a tincture or whatever, it takes a little bit of time for it to cook or to boil or to, come to fruition. And you can do that in a peaceful setting. She's sitting and doing her work. She's still working. She's just sitting and doing the work. So there's motion and movement, but there isn't, it's not full speed ahead. And I feel like this is important because for whatever reason, Scorpio, maybe you're a little bit tired of everything that you've kind of been going through. It takes a lot to break a pattern and cycle and to start a new one. So you want to be very aware of your energy levels, aware of where that is for you. Wow. Okay, Scorpio. So that is your transformational tarot for the month of March. If I can be of any assistance to you as you are going through this stuff, click on the link below, book a session. I would love to help you out. It's what I do. Like, subscribe, click the bell on my YouTube, share this, video with anyone that you feel could benefit from this type of guidance. I would love the help and the assistance to grow this channel. It's one of my goals and I couldn't do it without you. Until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, sending you lots of love, lots of support. We'll see you on the flip side and transform well.